to yet another episode of The Countout, and I am your host, Robert Bobby Baez, Iona College's voice of professional wrestling. So, we have a lot to talk about. Of course, it's been 2 weeks. I know we were all at spring break. So, while, of course, school, whether it be college, high school, that might have breaks, that might stop, wrestling doesn't. So let's get right down to it. But before I really get down to things happening in the world of the WWE, I want to first talk about a little anecdote, or a little, I guess you could say, personal story of mine. Not really a story, but more of an experience. So, it was on this day last week that me and 4 other friends went to Madison Square Garden to actually catch a WWE live event. It was a Road to WrestleMania event. They were going to be Madison Square Garden that Friday night, and then they were going to head to Richmond, Virginia, and then Washington, D.C. before they head back up to Brooklyn for Monday Night Raw. And so we went, and this was a little exciting for me. Actually, it was very exciting for me. Let me not lie to you. Reason being was because the only time I've ever been to a WWE event in general was also at Madison Square Garden. But I was in middle school. That's all I remember, and the Raw wasn't really that good. So this was kind of like my first. It felt like my first time, and it was absolutely amazing. It was usually the words to describe AJ Styles. Phenomenal. A great experience. I'm even wearing a shirt that I wore. Let me see if I could just get up and show you all real quick. Yeah, it's a New Day shirt. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the New Day, definitely. And so, just to talk about some of the matches in the event. The first match to kick off the show was Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. When I heard Dolph Ziggler's music come out, we and my friends went ballistic because we actually heard like the music of someone, and it just felt exhilarating that it was finally starting. So we heard Dolph Ziggler's music, then The Miz came out, which I kind of expected. And they had a decent match. It ended on a cool spot with The Miz jumping off the top rope and Dolph Ziggler super kicking him on his way down, and then he ended up getting the pin. Okay, so that was the first match of the night. Now, I don't remember the order. I remember the first match and the last 2 matches, but all the matches in the middle, I don't remember what order they were in, but I do kind of remember, how those matches went. Okay, so I believe the second match of the night was the U.S. title match with Kalisto and Rusev. There we go, Kalisto and Rusev. That match, it was an okay match. I mean, I enjoyed being there, honestly. But the match was pretty good. But Kalisto ended up winning, of course. You're not gonna have him lose the U.S. title in a house show. It was pretty much a house show, but it just so happened to be in a big house, I guess. That was bad. Wow. But let's keep on going. So. And then Sin Cara, and then Rusev ended up attacking him. I believe this is what happened. It's time for Sin Cara to come out, and then out came Ryback. They had an impromptu match. Ryback won pretty easily, so there's nothing much to say there. Yeah, that's gonna be the WrestleMania match that we're so excited about. Yeah, we're not. By we, as in WWE fans, universe, whatever we call it. Okay, so another match that took place actually was the Tag Team Divas match, women's match. I'm actually going to get to the whole Divas women's debate thing later on in another segment, but so we had that, and it was between I'm not going to say the group's name because it's so terrible, but you had Tamina and Naomi going up against Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. It was a really good match. Sasha and Becky got the win. Yeah, they got the win. And, just seeing, because I'm a huge fan of Sasha. I like Becky Lynch, so I'm a huge fan of Sasha Banks. And just seeing her there really just, it got me hyped. Just seeing, and Becky, both of them. Just seeing them there, that was one of the highlights of the night, just seeing those women out there in general, just having a match. Okay, then another match was the Wyatt family going up against Kane and Big Show. No, was it? Yeah, it was Kane and Big Show. It was Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan. Just thank goodness it wasn't Braun Strowman, that's all I'm saying. Against Kane and Big Show. Big Show coming out was kind of a surprise. It was a pretty big pop for the Big Show, which kind of surprised me because I thought the fans were always chanting, please retire the Big Show, and they were kind of tired of him. But he actually got a pretty big pop in Madison Square Garden, so I was a little surprised at that. But they came out, and for some reason, Big Show and Kane won. It seems like the Wyatt family are kind of getting lost in the shuffle. They should be a dominant heel. Well, yeah, the heels, but they should be a dominant faction in the WWE right now. Of course, you have the New Day and you have other tag teams like the Dudleys and the Usos. But the White Family should be a dominant faction. I have no idea why they're not. They have the gimmick that would make them seem dominant. They have the talent, maybe not Braun Strowman, but Eric Rowan's okay. Luke Harper is really good, but he's injured now for a while. And of course you have Bray Wyatt. So they should be a dominant faction, but they're just not. And not only are they losing, now if they were to lose like New Day or something, that might seem, reasonable, because New Day are your two-time tag team champions, but that it just seems strange to have them lose to guys like Big Show and Kane. Not because Big Show and Kane are good, but these guys are supposed to be like the up-and-coming faction. These guys are supposed to be like the new face of fear, as Bray Wyatt likes to say, and they can't beat guys who are, Kane is almost in his 50s, Big Show and Kane are almost in their 50s, so that just doesn't make sense to me, honestly. Okay, so we have, then it was I don't know if it was a tag team title match, but it was a 3-way tag team match. I always hate these matches because the rules are so stupid, but you have your WWE World Tag Team Champions, the New Day. That's right. They came out, and huge crowd pop, of course. I was hyped. I'm wearing a shirt, so I was hyped. But before that, it was the League of Nations, who are the most boring. Actually, no, it wasn't the League of Nations. Who was the other tag team? Wow. Oh, it was the Dudley Boys. And I also got to have the Dudley Boys because they're from New York, and them being in the Garden was also really exciting. So it was the Dudley Boys came out, and then the Usos came out. No, New Day came out first, and then the Usos came out, and so they had a 3-way, a 6-man triple threat tag team match, whatever that's called. It's not a 6-man tag. 6-man tag would be 3-on-3. It was a triple threat tag team match, and the reason I don't like the rules is because there has to be 2 competitors in the ring at a time, and you can tag pretty much anyone. They don't have to be your tag team partner. You could just tag anyone, which I don't really like. It also gets really confusing, and I don't like it. But the match itself was really entertaining. I saw a 3D. Seeing the 3D live is like really, really cool. It looks like a really devastating move. But the New Day won. Of course, there's some antics in the middle. Xavier Woods being his typical eclectic self. So they were really entertaining, of course, they always are, and they ended up winning the match. The Usos kind of went on like a super kick party real quick, but the end of the day, they won. And I also forgot to mention that before this match started, the WWE introduced Jonathan Coachman. And it's been a while since Jonathan Coachman has been on WWE TV, been on Raw, whatever. And so it was kind of cool seeing Jonathan Coachman come back. Now that he works at ESPN, he's the one that does the interviews after Raw on Tuesday nights with, many superstars from WWE, past and present, like Mick Foley, Usos, Roman Reigns, whatever. And so it was kind of cool seeing Coach come back. But then he decided to, do some dancing with the New Day, and it didn't go well. It was, showing his age a little bit. A lot. Showing his age a lot. And he ended up coming back on Raw the following Monday. But, one thing I did like about, this is a little tangent from the match, but when they cut their pre-match promo like they usually do, they actually had a Fife Dog reference. If you don't know, Fife Dog passed away last week, 2 weeks ago I believe actually, and he was a member of a Tribe Called Quest, and they were like, in the words of the late great Fife Dog, can I kick it? Yes you can. And so I like that. It's the fact that he was from New York too actually made it, that was a pretty nice tribute. So there was that. And then we had the Divas Champion, Charlotte, her match. I was hoping it wasn't going to be like Brie Bella or something. Thank goodness it was Natalya. Natalya is one of the most talented female wrestlers in the company, although she's a lot older compared to the other female wrestlers that are currently up and coming. And she's also criminally underused. I feel like she should have had multiple Divas title reigns, because she's really that talented. I don't know what they're doing. So thank goodness it was Natalya. They had a really good match. Charlotte, of course, ended up winning because you can't have the Divas Champion lose at a house show. Well, maybe you can, but you really can't, because you just can't. It's like I don't know how it goes in other places that's not Madison Square Garden, but I don't think you should have the Divas Champion losing that much, whether it be house show or on TV. But it was a really good match, and then Natalya, she got a standing ovation, of course, because she's well loved by the fans. I love Natalya; she's great. And so there was that. And then so I believe 2 matches left. Now the match that really most of the wrestling fans were looking forward to was AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. We were friends actually sitting in, like, it was five of us sitting in the row, and the people in the row in front of us were like, is this like a Ring of Honor main event? Because that's what it felt like. These guys faced off all the time in Ring of Honor, and boy, did they put on a clinic. I mean, the match was excellent. It's what you expected from two extremely talented in-ring performers like Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. I was surprised. We were expecting like either Jericho or Sami Zayn to come out, but they weren't there probably, so they didn't come out. But they didn't need it. The match was great. Kevin Owens did end up winning because he's the Intercontinental Champion. The whole champions have to win if they're in a singles match. So it was a really good match, though. To me, I was torn. I didn't know whether to root for AJ Styles, who has a phenomenal moveset, very fun to watch, against Kevin Owens, who's also a very talented wrestler, and who, like me, is pot-bellied, whatever. So I root for guys like that, but overall it was a great match. I don't really care who actually won. It's not like these guys are feuding right now, so the fact that they put on a match like that was spectacular. Wow, actually is the word spectacular. Okay, then we have the main event. Now, the main event was a tag team match, so the first person to make his entrance was Sheamus. Got a lot of boos. Typical, of course, you get boos out of Sheamus. And then the second guy to come out, when Triple H made his in-ring wrestling return after about 5 years. It's the first time in a long time. I don't know the exact number. I don't think it's 5 years either. The first time in a long time that he's actually been in a match. Competing in a match. That's not the Royal Rumble, of course. The crowd exploded. I exploded. That didn't make sense. But I went crazy because Triple H is probably my all-time favorite singles wrestler ever. When he came out, the crowd just went berserk, and it was just so exciting to finally see him, do his typical entrance, spin the water around in front of the ring. It was a very, very, very exciting moment when he came out. And so he was going to team with Sheamus, and then he had Dean Ambrose come out. The crowd also went crazy when Dean came out. I'm honestly not really a huge fan of Dean Ambrose. He might be very talented, I could be wrong, but from what I've seen his actual WWE matches, he might have been good in CZW or whatever the promotion is in, but from what I've seen his WWE matches, his matches to me are boring. I don't. If you like him, oh well. His matches to me are boring. Really, all he does is wildly punch, chop. Does the bungee off the ropes, the lariat, and then dirty deeds, and then he might do like a ring dive every now and then. That's pretty much all he does. His matches are just boring to me. And so, Dean came out, but the fans love him, so good for them. Dean Ambrose came out, and Roman Reigns came out, and Roman Reigns surprisingly got the biggest pop of the night. I thought that the biggest pop of the night would have been like Sasha Banks, or would have been Triple H, or AJ Styles, or Kevin Owens. Nope, Roman Reigns got the biggest pop of the night. Most of it was positive, but a lot of it was negative, of course, because it's Roman Reigns we're talking about. Of course, he's going to get a negative pop, especially in New York. It may not be Barclays or in Brooklyn, but it was a pretty good pop. And so the match went. It was a really good. It was a good. I'm not gonna say really good. It wasn't that, but it was a good match. And Ambrose and Reigns ended up getting a win after a spear on Sheamus, because you're not gonna pin the champ. You can't really pin the champ. So they got the pin on Sheamus, and they ended up winning. And it was an excellent night. It felt euphoric almost to be there. It might not have been a Raw, but I really didn't want to go out on a Monday night. And some people are willing to do that. I'm not. I just don't feel like it. So I chose that event instead. And also, it was a little cheaper. And also, I don't like Barclays Center that much, but it was a really great experience to just go to an event and see them perform live, and you really get to see what it's like to be there. I would love to do. I actually tried. I was in such a wrestling mood that I actually tried to look for tickets for SummerSlam in Brooklyn, but there were only about 34 tickets left, and the cheapest were in the $200 range. So I was like, nope, not happening. So there you go. And what I also noticed was that event was kind of like a rehearsal almost for Raw, because they kind of used the same. The promos that were cut on Friday night at Madison Square Garden were the similar promos that were used on Raw in Brooklyn that Monday. But I shouldn't say other than that, because I don't really care about that. It was still an amazing show. I was entertained. I was thoroughly entertained, actually. And, you know, I don't really have much to say. It was a great event. Had a great time. If I ever get the money, I would love to do something like that again, whether it be a Raw or whatever. Okay, so that's the end of my personal wrestling anecdote. Now, the next segment will be a review of Monday Night Raw this past Monday from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. So, stay tuned and just, I guess, watch out for it. That doesn't make sense. So, I'll be right back.